BWOne here from BWOne, and this is the IOCEAN X7. It's an international dual-SIM smartphone that was sent to us, and it's a pretty interesting phone. It has a 5-inch 1080p display and a quad-core processor with a 12-megapixel camera, so it's specs that you would see in most high-end US smartphones. So what intrigues me about this is this type of setup. Could this work in the United States? Is this a phone that I could see being sold here on a US carrier? Well, we're going to find out next in my review of the IOCEAN X7. Alright, let's start off with the design of the X7 here. It's a pretty much a candy bar sort of slab style design here. It's pretty much reminds me a little bit of the Lumia 928 on Verizon in terms of sort of its style and look, sort of this blocky kind of look to it here. You do have sort of this plain sort of plastic back here. Nothing sort of stands out in terms of kind of pop and shine by the way it kind of looks here. It is removable, as you'll see here as I find the latch, hopefully in the right corner. Here we go. Be able to pop the back of this off. You can see there, you can see that it supports dual SIMs. I have it looks like it supports micro SIM and full SIM cards as well too, and what they call trans flash here, but it's actually micro SD, which you can put inside of there. 2000 milliamp hour battery inside of it. That's also removable, and they give you an extra one with it. Another cover you have to snap back on. You got to be very wary to make sure you have all of it snapped back on like that, or else it won't stay on fully. But just snaps back on like that. Feels pretty comfortable in the hand. Feels pretty much like you're holding sort of a block with it. It's got pretty much touch controls here at the bottom. Well, not too many buttons, just really your power and your volume. With a 3.5mm headphone jack and USB port here at the bottom. So sort of a plain design with it, and kind of a plain color scheme, but there are different colors and variations of the IOCEAN X7. So it's a good design, it's functional, and it's going to work for most people that want a smartphone. For display, the IOCEAN X7 has a 5-inch 1080p display. It's actually an IPS display. It plays some pretty producing some pretty good color quality with it here, and some pretty decent viewing angles, as you can see on here. Not too shabby. It's pretty good in terms of sort of video playback. There's a little bit of stutter I've noticed from time to time, but I think that has more to do with sort of the processor and software than it has to do with the display here itself. But as you can see here, well, actually this YouTube video kind of froze in the middle of our sort of portion here. You can see the screen quality is actually pretty good. Let's head back here and we'll take a look. Even look at the home screen, looking at the wallpaper. You can see the video and the kind of wallpaper sort of pops right out. And let's actually head over to the gallery. It's a good place to go. Take a look at some of the photos that we took with it and give you an idea sort of the quality of the screen. So it is pretty good. It's a bright red. We can zoom in very, very deep in there and still produce pretty good screen quality. And overall, it's going to be decent for what most people are going to be looking for. It's not something that's sort of a home run that sort of pops out at you or anything, or it's like as amazing as an AMOLED, but it's good, and it's going to be something nice that you're going to look at if you're going to use this as a daily driver. So display's pretty important to look at every day. You won't be disappointed with the display on the IOCEAN X7 here. So for software on the IOCEAN X7, it is running Android 4.2 Jelly Bean with a sort of a stock interface for the most part, but with some custom elements to it that you'll see as we kind of go through here. Now, a lot of these elements are actually in Chinese, so some of this stuff I can't read, kind of got lost in translation, but we'll go through some of the basics here. You have your 5 different desktops to choose from. It doesn't have the ability to add any more desktops to it. You have your typical bottom layout here. You can open up to pretty much a standard app drawer that you normally would see. You can see some of the apps that we have installed here. They install like a file manager. I believe this is, when I asked one of my friends to translate that actually translates to some of the game center. They have an app market, but it does have access to the Play Store, so they're able to download some apps, because by default it doesn't come with like Gmail, Google Play, or anything like that. You don't get the standard Google applications with this, so you have to download those separately. It does have a couple of things, like a typing one. That's just what they told me that one was there. And you have your widgets also on here. Let you go back, so you swipe down. You see if your notification center, you can swipe stuff left to right. and some stuff kind of stays locked up in there, which I think that's a Game Center update. I'm not exactly sure. Somebody can translate that for me. That'd be pretty cool. Hit there, you get your more and more your quick access panel up here, and you can see they've added a couple things like audio profiles, data usage, timeout, your data connection, GPS, auto rotation, things you can. Well, that's actually defaultly on Android, but you can see they've added it and kind of put this sort of this blue hue, blue element on top of it. Now I'm running Wi-Fi. It does have dual SIMs, and I did have both of my SIM cards working within here on AT&T, but it kind of skips in and out just a little bit. So I think that's more along the lines of this device not being programmed for the US. So it's going to work a little quirky from here and there. So you really have to check to make sure you got all the SIM cards in there that are going to work and sure works on the networks. And I could probably get this to work a little bit better, but like I said, it's a little wonky. But for right now. But let's actually go into SIM management. You see that we have both SIM cards there, and you can actually manage what both of them do, which one's default for what. If you have one for AT&T, let's say I have one for T-Mobile or another carrier, or internationally or something, you can kind of switch them in and out. You can turn off SIM cards, turn them on and off. You can do roaming, sort of manage all your SIM management right there. You have some audio profiles that you can set, and you can create custom ones. You can, here on the display, you can change some of the things with the display on here. You do have your apps, battery. You can add your Google accounts. Let's see what else we have. Your data usage here, typical stuff. You can see data usage between 1 and 2 SIM cards. Really, really nice. I do really like the idea of having dual SIM cards on here, especially if you have one plan maybe better than the other for depending on what you're doing. It's really nice to kind of be able to switch between both and or set what each one's going to do for you. Let's see, you have your schedule power on and power off. That's pretty nice that you're able to sort of do that. A little different in Android. You can check here, go to About Phone. We have Android 4.2.1. Keep hitting there. Go into there and get you the developer options. Go ahead and head back. Head back one more time. Let's see what else is. Pretty basic in terms of like the software on it. There really isn't much. They do have customizations, like I said, but not a whole lot with it. It's really, for the most part, a stock Android experience that runs pretty smooth for the most part, especially with the quad-core processor that's inside of here. We're coupled with about 1 gigabyte of RAM, I believe. It's a pretty smooth experience. It's not anything that's going to be as fast as I would say some of the flagship phones like the Galaxy S4 HTC One, but it's something that it's going to get the job done for people that are interested in a phone like this, especially if you're looking for something that has dual SIM in it and you want something a little bit more on the premium side. You won't be disappointed with the software performance here in the IOCEAN X7. So the IOCEAN X7 comes with a 8 megapixel camera on here with 1080p HD video capture. As we focus on the pen here, this is sort of the interface that they have with it. One of the few things they did customize on here. And you have your settings here that you can kind of scroll through for panoramic view. You can have multi-view angles. You can have your little magic stuff that's also there with it, and standard photos, and you have photos and video. Just pressing on the camera takes a snapshot. You hit tap right there, starts the video instantly with it. Come right off of it, and bring this right up here. You can see some of the menu settings and options: anti-flicker, color effects, GPS location, zero shutter delay, face detection, continuous shot. Picture size 12 megapixels was what we actually have it set to. Sorry, I've been calling it an 8 megapixel. I've been getting it so confused. It's a 12 megapixel camera. Sorry about that. I've been getting it confused pretty much the entire time, because some of the specs say 8 and some of the specs say 12 when I've been looking up the stuff for the X7. But this is a 12 megapixel camera, and it does do 1080p HD video, but it doesn't really give you sort of video option. It has EIS on it as well for some stabilization. Not the greatest with it. As you'll see, as we uploaded our test video, it's a little on the choppy side of things. The audio quality is pretty good, but the video quality does stutter, and even with optimal image stabilization on it, it doesn't really do a very good job with it. It's something that they can definitely improve in the future, maybe even add a software update to it to make it a little bit better. The picture quality is actually pretty good with the 12 megapixel camera. It's really good for uploading to Facebook, Twitter, You know, it's not, I wouldn't say it's a quality of sort of a point shoot replacement, but it's going to be very good for taking us pictures on the road and pictures on the go and such. So if you really want to upload or capture the moment instantly, you're going to get a pretty nice high quality photo. The camera software is very simple as well too. It's intuitive. It's kind of, you see what it is, not too much to it. So overall, I definitely have to give the camera a good thumbs up. Just wish the video quality was just a little bit better. So for the IOCEAN X7, one of the things I want to mention about is the battery life inside of it. And being that this is stock Android, it only has a 2,000 milliamp hour battery with 2 different phone lines going into it, essentially with it. Battery life is going to be a little on the tough side. That's one of the reasons why they include 2,000 milliamp hour batteries. That's to make it a little bit easier for you to kind of switch them out, so you want to have both charged up. I do wish in the package though it included sort of some type of external charger to be able to plug it into the wall, so have that battery ready just to swap out relatively quickly once this one kind of runs out here. You're looking at anywhere on 2,000 milliamp hour battery, and if you're a power user, probably about 6 to 8 hours of battery life. That's kind of on the low side of things. You might be able to stretch it to 10 depending on how you tweak some of the settings and how often you check email, how often you turn on the screen and stuff like that. But that's kind of the range you're looking at, especially with a dual SIM phone. Now, that's one thing I really do like about it is the dual SIM, and I would really like to see something like that in the United States a little more often. The ability to basically have 2 SIM cards in there and pretty much set it to where you want it to go. Not sure if US carriers would go for that, but the idea would kind of be like, let's say you're on carrier A, and carrier A gives you great minutes and text, and carrier B gives you a better data package. You can actually set it inside the phone here to be able to say, hey, for data use this SIM, for phone calls use this SIM, for text messaging use this and that and the other, and you kind of get the idea there. And that's something I think a lot of people will really like, especially in the business world. I think it'd be something pretty unique, and I think something people will like as well too. And international capabilities, being able to go overseas and pop in SIM cards from over there, so you can get the best rates depending on what country that you're in, and whichever carrier overseas has the best available for that. Other than that, this is a cool phone that I think it's a little step below what you would see in US premium smartphones. I think they still need to kind of smooth it out a little bit, but I do like the IOCEAN X7, and it's a phone that I'd recommend for somebody that definitely needs something that has dual SIM and international, and you want something on the high-end level of things, something close to Galaxy S4 and HTC One here in the US, and the ability to be able to do that. You're gonna need to check your carrier frequencies though to make sure the SIM card can work on here. I have 2 SIM cards in here. I've tried a couple other different ones. It's worked a little bit, then it kind of stopped, and you can sign a review that they weren't working at all. So it kind of varies accordingly, because these aren't really tied to US carriers. So talking to IOCEAN sort of directly, I would like to see them sort of make phones like this, but have it so that it is compatible with US bands on a regular basis, so people just can just buy it and they know they can work for AT&T, T-Mobile. Those are pretty much the main 2 to do GSM here in America. But overall, thumbs up to IOCEAN X7. I really do like this phone. Like I said, it combines some really nice, cool, high-end features with once again I say the dual SIM capability, which I think is a very valuable tool, and I'd like to see that happen here in the United States at some point. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you find it very useful, it definitely helps us out. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page for more great tech videos. We always love posting stuff like this out to you guys. Also subscribe to follow us on our Google Plus page. Just subscribe. Follow us on our Google Plus page. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on like us on Facebook. Too many different acronyms for just being able to follow someone, basically. But you guys get the idea. Also check out our main website at BWOne.com. And always remember to live your tech world in high definition. Thanks for watching.